Have you ever felt so low, so broken, that you honestly thought it was over? Like you've hit rock bottom and there's no way out? Maybe you've lost everything you worked for. Maybe your business crumbled, the money dried up, and all you have left is that sinking feeling in your chest, that constant voice whispering, "You've failed." People look at you with pity, or worse. They don't even see you anymore. You feel forgotten, abandoned, completely stuck. And you start wondering if this is just how it's supposed to be. But what if I told you something? What if I told you that this place you're in right now, this dark, empty, hopeless place, it's not the end of your story? What if I told you that God can turn your deepest pit into your highest calling? What if the very place of your pain becomes the platform for your greatest purpose? You see, God specializes in turning ashes into beauty, taking what's broken and making it whole. When the world says it's over, God says, "I'm just getting started." But here's the real question. Are you ready to let Him? Are you ready to let God take what's shattered and turn it into something greater than you ever imagined? Because if you are, then get ready. Your comeback story is about to be written. Stay with me, because this is where the miracle begins. Let me tell you a story, a true story. There was this Christian entrepreneur who had it all, or at least it seemed that way. The business was thriving, the money was flowing, the future looked bright. Everything he touched seemed to turn to gold. But then it all fell apart. Out of nowhere, disaster struck. Deals fell through, clients walked away, and the bills, they just kept piling up. Day after day, the pressure kept building. It was like watching everything he built crumble right before his eyes. He tried to hold it together, tried to push through the chaos, but it was like trying to catch sand with your bare hands. The more he struggled, the faster everything slipped away. The finances dried up. His reputation took a hit. Friends stopped calling, and the world around him, it felt like it was caving in. People looked at him with pity. Some even laughed. They said it was over, that he'd failed, that he should just accept defeat and move on. But God wasn't done. Because while everyone else counted him out, God was getting ready to do something extraordinary. And if you've ever felt like you've hit rock bottom, if you've ever felt like the world has given up on you, then you need to hear what happens next. Because this is where faith steps in. This is where everything begins to change. And just when it seemed like all hope was gone, something happened. One night he was alone, sitting in the darkness of his own thoughts, drowning in frustration, drowning in regret. And he did the only thing he could do. He cried out to God. Not some pretty, polished prayer, no. This was raw, desperate, from the depths of his soul. He shouted, "God, where are you? I've tried everything. I've done all I know to do, and I'm still losing. I'm still sinking. God, I need you." And right there, in that broken moment, something shifted. It was like a quiet whisper in his spirit, a voice so gentle yet so powerful. "Trust me." That was it. Two simple words. But those words pierced through the darkness like a blazing light. And for the first time in a long time, he felt something, hope. He knew right then and there. It was time to stop fighting on his own. It was time to surrender, to let go of his plans, his pride, his own understanding. He made a decision that night, to lay it all down at the feet of Jesus, to trust God's plan instead of his own. He started praying like never before. Not just asking for blessings, but asking for guidance, for wisdom, for direction. He began to fast, to shut out the noise of the world and tune his heart to God's voice. And slowly, things began to change, not on the outside, not yet. But something inside of him was shifting. He was no longer driven by fear, no longer chained by worry. He was moving in faith, and the faith was growing stronger every single day. But what happened next was nothing short of a miracle. And then it happened. Out of nowhere, doors began to open. Opportunities that seemed impossible before suddenly became possible. It was like God himself was making a way where there was no way. New ideas started pouring into his mind. Ideas so clear, so powerful, it was as if they were delivered straight from the throne room of heaven. He moved with boldness. He acted with faith. And every single step he took, God met him there. But it didn't stop at ideas. No, God was connecting him to people he could have never reached on his own, people with resources, people with influence, connections so perfect, so divine, that it was undeniable. What was once a dead, crumbling business was now rising up stronger than ever, built on faith, not fear, built on God's wisdom, not man's approval. The same business that people said was finished, God resurrected. And it wasn't just restored. It was renewed, it was multiplied, it was thriving beyond his wildest dreams. God had taken what was broken and turned it into something beautiful, what was meant for destruction. God used for his glory. And if you think this is just a story, I'm here to tell you, God can do the same for you, because what he did for one, he can do for all.